Let me tell you a little bit about Ingrid, and this is possibly the most important.
What an introduction. What an introduction. Who thought that there were so many words that rhymed with roller skating? I certainly didn't. But that's all true. It's fantastic to see some beautiful faces, or people, or HR, or wherever you were. Everyone went through the same induction, which included selling, which included the products. And it meant that no matter where you were, you could talk about the business with absolute passion and certainty. You knew the story, you loved being there, you knew why you were there. Everyone there was so engaged and committed to the businesses that they were working in. And I think that it wasn't a surprise, actually, that there were a lot of business owners in the room as well, and that makes such a difference. Now, the bit that I think might be a little bit of a disconnect, you might think, well, what role does AI play in all of this? Because it's a very people-centric interaction between two human beings where you feel it. Now, I'm sure that there are some things appropriate for any size business. It doesn't matter how big or how small you are, that you can adopt the mutual mattering model. When I talk about a sales revolution, I'm talking about the transformation of the way that you interact. There was an understanding that without a salesperson and held relationships, and then something happened. So they don't need to be told what they need. And I'm not going to argue with that, but that's also them saying, so that's what sales is. You telling them, and you don't need to do that anymore. Because marketing will create all the demand. Customers know what they want. It's a perfect marriage. They turn up, they answer the call, they listen, they might even go out to a meeting that they've created. They think that that's, of growing a portfolio, of growing a region, and cultivating those long-term relationships that are continually growing. You certainly don't have with us. When we think about the experience that we hands up, who believes that sales is the lifeblood? No, I like that sort of stuff. We were in nappies back then, or at school, or maybe we weren't even born then. It was pretty tough. It was pretty tough. But in Frankston, the body shop opened. You look really nice. Oh, you'll be right, love. Keep going. And they were owner-operators doing everything themselves. Because if you're not that certainly couldn't now, but they did back then because, hey, don't rock the boat. They're hitting target. When Mark was talking about, the 3% unemployment getting towards 4.5%, and I thought, well, I don't know whether we will, or how much pain we're going to reach until we get that 4.5, because it's simply about trying to create a way of being in our organisations where we're magnetising customers to us through the way that we treat them. And people aren't used to having those conversations. And we're talking to people that have grown up in tech households where every person's getting their own meals and belong to a place where they feel like these are the values that I share as well. I feel like these are my people. I feel comfortable here. Who are your customers? You might define it as something. Now, this is a way of being. If you really love people, it came out of the fact that I looked at a couple of existing models that I thought were a little bit different and more appropriate for selling today. And one of them was about looking at all of the revenue enablement. That's one person. Let's just say one team. It's still not enough. One function, still not enough. We need everyone across the organisation and out into the community. But this, I think, really speaks to a lot more than just... If you remember who it was, please raise your hands. But that person said, no one can create the experience like our people can. Our people, it was you, Sam. It was you, yes, it was you. And it's absolutely true. As an organisation, primarily, but also as an individual. And how is each individual creating that experience regardless of who the customer interacts with? How do they want to be seen? How do you want to be seen as an organisation? To take that. Also, and I think we need something to really lift us up and inspire us to something greater than ourselves. Thank you very much.